Hey YouTube, Rico Knows here. Got a transfer portal update for you guys. You guys see it. Devee Harris, former Colorado defensive end, transferring to Marshall. I think this is a pretty good transfer. If you ask me, Marshall and Colorado are pretty equivalent in skill and ability and talent. Marshall, one of the better group of 5 teams out there. Colorado being one of the worst Power 5 teams. Nonetheless, going to Marshall, they need you. If you watched any of the spring game, and I went and watched it, read up everything about it, Marshall quarterbacks in the spring game were doing the damn thing. They were really, really good. They had no pressure. There was a sack. There was 2 sacks. Who was the guy? I'll pull it up here. So they don't have this updated. Some of these players aren't even on the team anymore. If you look, like Micah Abraham just got drafted in the NFL. Shout out to me for knowing that. But Michael Green's still there. Jabari Ishmael, he played great in the spring game. If you guys don't remember Jabari Ishmael, he's a defensive end. His father was a strength and conditioning coach at Miami for like the last 20 years or so. And then Cristobal showed up and fired his dad. So the kid jumps in the transfer portal and goes up to Marshall. I want to say Marshall has Lockett as the strength and conditioning coach. I might be wrong here. I can't remember everybody's strength and conditioning coach in America. But Jabari Ishmael is him. That's a good defensive lineman. So now you bring in Devee Harris. How good is Devee Harris? Well, some of the Colorado fans will tell you, oh, who's that? Who's that? Who? What? Where? When? Come on, man. This is a good player. When he was at ODU, right, he came over with Chaz Wallace from ODU. When he was at ODU, he was quality. Got an interception once every 2, back-to-back years is what I meant to say. Got a couple of sacks in the last 2 years as well. But he got to Colorado, all the production shut down, never really in the rotation. There was guys like Jordan Dominic on the field instead of him. But nonetheless, Devee Harris, finding another school to believe in him, important. This is a young man that wants to compete, wants to play. It's just once you fall out of favor, once you fall out of the rotation and they're bringing in other guys like BJ Green or 3 guys from Pitt, or I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying. Once they start bringing in other players, like Okunalola, you start looking around going, oh, wait, there's no more reps for me. And it's probably my last year of eligibility. We got to do something about this. So what are we going to do? Are we going to let me do it? Because he didn't redshirt last year. He played in all 12 games, whether it was special teams, in a rotation here and there. Played in all 12 games. And you might not have noticed all 14 tackles he made. Marshall needs you. And if you ask me, I want to say something to you guys. The one university out there that is signing players with character problems, and maybe it's a credit to Huff and what their head coach is doing, but the guys they sign are last chance you. Like, it's their last shot at making it at the FBS level. A lot of the guys they sign are character issues, maybe kicked off their previous team, like just a number of things going wrong. I remember last year I was very critical of an A&M kid they signed. He had been arrested 3 times in the last calendar year. But Devee Harris is none of those guys. Like, he's a good guy. He's a good player, good teammate. As far as I know, good locker room guy. I've talked to Colorado players ad nauseum. No one's ever said a negative thing about this man. So glad he found another team, probably back at the echelon of where he belongs, on the East Coast, in familiar territory, right? It's just where he likes to play his ball. More power to him and Chaz Wallace. Chaz Wallace went all the way back, and he's at North Carolina. By the way, I don't agree with that transfer, but North Carolina State. But here for Devee Harris, congratulations. You got to Marshall. Go ball out. They need you. I know they need you. I saw the spring game. It didn't look good. Quarterback had way too much time to throw on both sides of the ball. I know you're not looking for sacks, but I'm looking for pressure, a pocket collapsing, something. They were just out there throwing against air. It looked like 7-on-7 drills. It was nuts. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.